Hello, my name is Andrew, and I'll be talking about my project, Listen to Vinyl. Listen to Vinyl is an e-guide for people who want to learn about the vinyl record format but don't have any prior knowledge about it. In the guide, I split it up between blog entries and social media postings. In the guide, I offer tips of products that are versed with different price points and has effective long-term usages. Lastly, the guide is equipped with history and valuable information for someone who wants to learn about the format and how it all got started. The guide also has the social media element to help create easy communication with members and starts a community of its own. Vinyl was victorious last year. According to a 2020 YouGov study, baby boomers at 36% are the most likely age group to indicate that they are willing to pay for music on vinyl records, while one third, 30% of Gen Z, 28% of millennials, and 26% of Gen Z said the same. There are other members in the vinyl community with beneficial guides, which could pose a threat to my e-guide because they have probably more knowledge, research, access to different stores, various records in their personal collection, or even have a career in the music distribution industry. However, in my research, I found that many of the guides focus solely on high-end products, unrealistic resources, and limits options, all that are not consumer friendly for a first time listener of the format. Also, of these guides focuses on seeking out common classic rock albums like Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, Abbey Road by the Beatles, and much more. Whereas I will focus and introduce examples on a diverse array of music genres, such as punk rock, hip hop, newer country music, and so much more. Like Fresh Fruit for Rotten Vegetables by the Dead Kennedys, Enter Wu-Tang 36 Chambers by Wu-Tang Clan, and Pony by Orville Peck. My guide plans to stand out from other contenders in its sense to have a reduced general audience but a developed foundation. Lastly, I would love to feature other record collectors and get testimonies of their adventures and stories. So the overall purpose of this project is to help introduce vinyl to music listeners who would prefer Spotify or Apple Music or any music streaming site and just expose this wondrous hobby that is so endless and so rich and has such great factors and keeps the music industry alive and helps promote fun networking and new ideas of perspectives of music. So my target audience in this is male or female digital listeners 9 to 24 years old, Spotify and Apple Music listeners who are 25 to 34, and young adults who are in the majority of the individualism and material possessions generation, which are 18 to 28 years old. So right here is my editorial calendar, and on top I had a strict social media schedule of what I wanted to post on certain days, such as Tip Tuesdays. Friday would be a Instagram story. Saturday would be called Saturday Spinning, which I would just show what I would be playing. And other days I would just post what I had on my e-guide and then shared it right onto my social media. So while doing my research on other guides and reading other social media and other vinyl people, community members, I found that people, especially younger generation, are not really into spending big money on starter equipment because they'd rather spend money on the bigger reissues or more pricier albums. They see those more valuable. Next, I saw that music streaming is such more big work for artists and bands because they see those as recycled listens and that they can generate more traction and analytics towards those listeners. And then lastly, vinyl revival is still growing strong to this day. Last year, we saw a 29.2% to a $619.6 million jump. That is huge, and it shows that vinyl is still growing, even in the digital age.
So next, I really wanted to show off some of the highlights of my e-guide. I felt like a lot of these blog entries are very easy to read. They provide extraordinary information, and they really showcase vinyl in its forefront. Right here, I'm showing off a website and application called Discogs, which is very popular amongst vinyl community members because it's an easy read site that's user generated. I give an entire uh, breakdown of each of the components from how to work the collection, what it goes into for the marketplace, your want list, and it's a great resource for anyone that wants to know exactly about the albums that you're about to buy. Some of the other sites that blog posts that I made were about products such as turntable and platter mats. Here I kind of give small descriptions and pros and cons about each mat and their uses and like the possibilities of uh, describing each of them. Then on Sundays, towards the end of my project days, I kind of gave a rundown of each store that I free stores that I really want to visit, and I gave like a little healthy promotion to them, such as Criminal Records in Atlanta, Georgia, and talked about how they started Record Store Day and gave the history about that. Next, I did Spin Me Around in Easton, Pennsylvania, and this is a shop I've been to because it's very local to me. And I just kind of give about their history. And I was able to interview the owners, and they told me that I was given full permission to use their site and all that stuff. Here, I just talk about the mission, which is basically the description of the project. This is me talking about a like what I want to do for the social media page, and then I put the editorial calendar on here, which goes right into a different document. And then I included our literature review that we wrote earlier in the semester. And finally, I did my Instagram page, which is it's actually really popular and has a great following to it. It might be small, but it had a lot of traction with people. And I did get a comment that really made me feel heartfelt that they really appreciate my content because it really helps them understand vinyl as a whole. Thank you and have a great day.